Dragon Ball Z Budokai was a milestone for Dragon Ball games. It was the first ever Dragon Ball game to be dubbed by Funimation, and it's also the first game in the highly praised Budokai series. A lot of people have nostalgia for this game. I am not one of those people. I didn't actually play the first Budokai when I was younger. Just like a lot of people, I started with Budokai 3. I didn't actually get to this game until I became a teenager. After saying that, I am curious to see how well Budokai 1 holds up in 2020. The answer might surprise you guys. First, I need to establish some general guidelines for this review. I'll be playing the game the way it was intended to be played, so no Budokai HD collection or PS2 emulation. I'll be playing and recording this from my actual PlayStation 2, so you know what that means. All the music tracks Kenji Yamamoto stole are gonna be here. Oh boy. Also, I guess the best way I can go about this is going arc by arc and giving critiques and then giving my overall thoughts in the end. So with that being said, let's start off with the Saiyan saga. Every arc starts out with an opening and is followed by a title card. It gives you the feeling of watching an episode from the show. I really love how instead of using screenshots from the anime like another game in the series does, they went out of their way to recreate scenes with their own 3D models. Honestly, after 18 years, these don't look half bad. I really enjoyed the candle wax-like aesthetic the models have. Kinda wish they continued this in future games in the series, but instead it was dropped for a more cel-shaded look. Here are some basic controls for combat. Square is punch, triangle is kick, circle is energy, and X is guard. More on that a bit later. Okay, it's time for our first fight in the game, Goku vs Raditz, brother vs brother. A battle to end all battles. Oh, yeah, jeez. So I have a hot take for this minigame that comes up next. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. It's when Goku has to hold Raditz in place while Piccolo charges up the special beam cannon. Whenever anyone mentions this game, they always talk about how hard this was and that it took them so many tries as a kid to complete. Now, I'm gonna be completely blunt. It was not that hard. At all. It's pretty straightforward. The only catch is that you don't really have to try to keep him in the middle the entire time, only in those last like 3 seconds. So after that, Goku turns into a pincushion. And holy shit, it's a red hole instead of just being completely black like in modern Dragon Ball games. Oh, and here's a quick fun fact. If you already beat the story once, you can play this fight over from Piccolo's perspective. I wonder what happens if you don't charge up the special beam cannon.
Darn, I've got no energy left!
Dope. After a year of training passes, it's time for the Z Fighters to face off against the Saiyans. A funny thing that stands out to me in this scene specifically is how everyone is taking a fighting stance, but then we see Chaozu. Like, what is this? Anyways, I guess it's time to play with Yamcha. Whoa!
What?
Yamcha! Yeah, so it's time to play as Piccolo as we fight waves of Cybermen. Couldn't have put it better myself. There are a total of 6 Cybermen we have to take down. It's not really much of a challenge considering they're, you know, Cybermen. I do wish we could have had a chance to play with Krillin though, that would have been cool. After Chaozu's sacrifice and Tien's attempt at, revenge, we have to once again play as Piccolo. This time we're fighting Nappa. I've never had anything against Nappa before, but this game made me despise him. For whatever reason, this is the first fight in the game that was actually difficult. We start out with the handicap as our health is already yellow while Nappa's health is in the green. To make matters even worse, Dwayne Johnson over here punches like a fucking truck. Here's something I don't get. Krillin is clearly shown here in the previous cutscene ready to help fight Nappa, but in the actual fight, he's nowhere to be found. Where is he? After we get bodied as Piccolo, it would make sense to play as Krillin with yellow health, wouldn't it? I digress. It took me a few tries, but I managed to beat Nappa, and I'm proud to say that I kept calm throughout the entire fight.
Piccolo, please don't leave me.
You'll have to take it from here. This is what we train for, isn't it? But promise me, stay alive.
Imagine being killed by Dwayne Johnson. All hope is lost until our boy Goku shows up just in time, like he does in almost every arc. Now it's time to get revenge for our fallen comrades. Oh, and it's even more fitting because challenges by Kenji Yamamoto is playing. Fuck. Okay, let's try that again with different music placement. Although we never see Goku's Kaioken attack, this next cutscene really sells Nappa's pain.
Vegeta, I need your help.
You see, I felt that. Our next fight we'll be going through is Goku vs Vegeta. How does this game adapt one of the most iconic fights in the series? Not in a great way. I'm gonna be nitpicking a few things here, so bear with me. First off, the in-game title of this fight is Super Duel. That has to be the most generic title I've ever heard. By definition, every fight in this game is a Super Duel. Another problem I have is in the script itself, specifically in this scene. Now, to be clear, I'm not a dub versus sub guy. I couldn't care less about what you prefer. But since this game came out in 2002, Funimation scripts at this point were pretty wacky. The entire purpose of the Goku and Vegeta fight was to show how a low-class person can overcome insurmountable odds. It's prominent in the Japanese version, but it's kinda lost in the English one. I'll play them both for you guys and you can tell me what you think.
喜ぶがいい。貴様のような下級戦士が超エリートに遊んでもらえるんだからな。
どうかな。落ちこぼれだって努力すりゃエリートを超えることがあっかもな。
では、努力だけではどうやっても超えられぬ壁を見せてやろう。
Kakarot, do you have any idea how lucky you are that a super elite warrior like myself has decided to let you have a fighting chance?
Hey, thanks. But I don't expect a fair fight. It doesn't seem like your style.
There! I've let you speak your mind. Now let's begin, shall we?
Anyways, I proceed to beat Vegeta's ass in a pretty fun fight. I even knocked him out of the stage, which is extremely satisfying in this game. Now it's time to see the Kamehameha vs Gallic Gun clash. Oh wait, it's not in the game. It just skips to Vegeta transforming.
Don't you see, Kakarot? You don't have a chance against me!
Whoa, what enormous energy. He sure is big. This'll be tough for sure. But I'm ready for him. I'll just have to give him everything I've got. You big ape!
God damn, Frieza, that shit wasn't called for. Is it just me, or is there something really off with this next cutscene?
Prepare to use the Spirit Bomb technique he learned from King Kai. The giant ape Vegeta, countered with an attack of his own.
After Yajirobe cuts off Vegeta's tail, he returns back to normal and is ready to take out his anger on a small child, Gohan. He then proceeds to get completely waxed in another pretty decent fight.
Throw it back, Gohan! You have to throw it back!
And just like that, the Saiyan threat is over. Krillin picks up Yajirobe's sword and does the killing blow. Oh.
Krillin, stop! Please, let Vegeta go. Look, I know this probably sounds crazy, but I want to challenge him again one day. I have to do it, to prove it to myself that I can beat him. So please, just let him go. Please!
So you're going to spare the person responsible for killing most of your friends, almost killing you and your son for the off chance of fighting him again one day? Makes sense to me. So with all of that said and done, we finally finished the Saiyan saga. Outside of a few nitpicks, I think it did a good job covering a lot of the material. It's my favorite saga in the game, and it worked as an effective intro. Now it's time to move on to the Frieza saga. However, before we do, I want to show you guys this wacky alternate cutscene.
You fool! You think I can't hear you back there? Sneaky. That's what I like about you. Hey, come on, join me.
No way, forget it. I'd have to be crazy. You'd just kill me like you did your last partner.
I did Nappa Noble Warrior's death. It was what he deserved. He was a Saiyan!
Here we are at the Frieza saga. Our first instance of gameplay this time around is training as Goku while he's on his way to Namek. During this, we learn more of the game's mechanics. Our first training exercise is deflecting. We have to deflect 15 ki blasts back at Vegeta by pressing guard right before they hit us. It's a fun little exercise that I pass with relative ease. The next training mission we have is activating burst mode, which are essentially just blow exchanges, and these are still super satisfying all these years later. For our third exercise, we simply have to beat Vegeta. Again. I think outside of Frieza, we fight Vegeta the most in the game. Weird considering he's only a villain for one arc. Now it's time for our actual first fight in the saga. Vegeta vs Zarbon. I guess Qui is just non-existent for some reason. I just want to say that I love Zarbon in this game, mainly because of his impact sounds. Okay, so after we kill Zarbon, we see another cutscene with a very weird-ass angle. From there, we move on to the Ginyu Force arriving at Namek.
Raccoon! Attack! Dice! Budo!
Fuck!
Ginyu!
Ginyu Force!
Yes. Well, terrific.
We're kind of missing a few story elements here, but whatever. So we fight Raccoon and beat him, but it turns out it's all for nothing. Our boy Goku shows up once again and beats all of them in a cutscene. It sure would have been nice to play that. A complaint I have here is that the entire confrontation with Captain Ginyu is completely skipped over. For the most part, we only see him in this cutscene. Why? I don't understand why that portion was just glossed over. As a matter of fact, a good chunk of the arc is told in this single cutscene. Porunga is summoned, Piccolo is revived, the Grand Elder passes away, and Frieza shows up. Damn, Budokai 1, slow the fuck down, it's not a race. I have 3 really important questions. Why are we moving so fast? Why did we skip over Piccolo's fight? Why are we already at Goku's fight with Frieza? Come on, game, I need more watch time. After beating Frieza in our first fight, we move on to the Spirit Bomb cutscene.
It's time!
What? No! You can't stop me!
Yeah, we all know he's not dead. Alright, boyos and boyettes, it's time to take down Frieza as a Super Saiyan. Our second fight is pretty straightforward. He knocked me out of Super Saiyan, but I was still able to pull out a win. Now the third fight is where things get shitty. Mr. Upright Sperm Cell here finally gets serious and goes 100%, and it shows in the fight. It's a great challenge because now he starts actually beating my ass. It's bad because he starts beating my ass. You know what? Fuck this. It's time to bust out the Mad Catz controller. That's how you know shit's real.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this? I'm about to pop a fucking blood vessel.
Balls! Balls!
Fighting Frieza gave me arthritis in my right hand, so I'm gonna take a break. Plot twist. Frieza is still alive and is on his way to Earth to seek revenge on Goku. However, he's foiled by a mysterious newcomer, Trunks. He warns Goku of the impending android threat and takes off. Cut to 3 years later and it's time to face the android. Oh god, that's terrifying.
And they're stronger than all of us!
Our first fight of the saga is Android 19 versus Goku. Since Goku is beginning to have symptoms from the heart virus, our health is being drained during the fight. I think it's a really cool touch and added some tension. A cutscene plays showing Goku being choked out until Vegeta comes to the rescue.
If anyone is going to defeat Kakarot, it's me! So stay out of my way, you robotic cunt!
It turns out old Widow's Peak here can become a Super Saiyan, and we use that power to defeat Android 19. I was never a fan of this part of the story in particular because now Goku's role in the arc is heavily diminished. He spends most of it sick in bed until he fights in the Cell games. It sucks because the entire premise of the Android arc is about getting revenge on Goku. Well, how can you do that if he's playing such an inactive role, only showing up in the beginning and the end? Hell, he doesn't even have a single interaction with 17 or 18. By the time he meets 16, they're on the same side. It just feels like a missed opportunity. Anywho, out of sheer desperation, Dr. Gero awakens 17 and 18. Then for whatever reason, it cuts to them activating 16 with no mention of them killing Gero. Once again, Budokai 1 is just rushing through important story beats. After that happens, we see another cutscene where Vegeta challenges Android 18. You know, until making this video, I never realized how big Android 17's forehead is. I mean, this shit is massive. I can fit the entire script of the review on this man's cranium. It's to the point where if you type big forehead characters on Google, 17 is just 2 scrolls away. Android 18 isn't too hard to beat. I hit her with a double axe handle to end the fight. However, in the next cutscene, the opposite happens and she ends up breaking Vegeta's arm. What a loser.
Meanwhile, in an effort to become as strong as possible and achieve his perfect form, Cell undergoes yet another transformation.
Wow, it sure would have been nice to have gameplay of this. It cuts to Vegeta and Trunks walking out of the time chamber, and Vegeta is as confident as ever.
Yeah, you've trained well, Vegeta.
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
Vegeta's confidence.
Aw yeah, it's time to fight Cellular Device as Vegeta, who's supposedly even more powerful now. What, is he some kind of super Vegeta? Fuck y'all, I'm funny. Here's our moveset for the upcoming fight. It's cool and all, but I'll be sticking with my regular punch-punch ki blast combo. For anyone that's played Budokai 1 or any Budokai game for that matter, you probably noticed a weird inconsistency with Perfect Cell's voice. Every time he's speaking in a cutscene or saying a special move, his voice is normal. But when he's screaming or doing impact sounds, it's always his first form voice instead. Here's an example.
You think so? Then perhaps you could help me warm up, if you don't mind, Daddy.
It's only a problem in the English version because Damian Clark does drastically different voices for all of Cell's different forms, while the Japanese voice actor Norio Wakamoto, which I'm glad I got his name right the first take, keeps them relatively pretty similar. After Vegeta overpowers Imperfect Cell, instead of killing him, he lets him absorb Android 18 to truly test his newly obtained power. I have a question for all the Vegeta fans. Why do you guys like this character? He spends the entire arc bragging about how powerful he is, only to get his ass kicked, then trains to still get his ass kicked. It's insane. It's a constant cycle throughout the entire Android arc. Sure, he has cool moments here and there, but they never amount to anything substantial. How can some of you idolize such a bitch-made character? Alright, rant over. Cell absorbs 18 and becomes perfect. From there we have to fight him as Vegeta. It was pretty close, definitely much more of a challenge than the last fight was. Another thing I realized upon looking back at the footage is that there isn't a Trunks vs. Cell fight. I get that it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but it still would have been cool to see. After a series of cutscenes and cutaways, it's time to fight in the Cell games.
Cell's game begins.
First fight, we're playing as Goku. I'm gonna be honest, this fight was pretty intense. It was the first time in the game where I had to pause the match to refer to the move list. In the first 20 seconds alone, Cell knocked me out of Super Saiyan. Paying attention to the gameplay mechanics and utilizing the movement system is the only reason I won this fight. Goku gives up, so it's Gohan's time to fight Cell. From here on out, there's nothing but bullshit. It took me 3 attempts to beat Cell. 3 fucking attempts. And this isn't even the hard part. That's coming up soon. We have to fight Cell 2 more times after this, and each fight is worse than the last. Before we get to that, our next challenge is fighting 7 Cell Juniors in a row. We're in the final stretch of the game, peeps. Yeah, no more cardboard cutouts. I'm so serious about this that I'm appearing on camera. So yeah, guys, let's do this. Okay, now we're back to Cell. Our second fight with him isn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it's still a pain in the ass. He punches like a crackhead juiced up on dopamine. This oversized cicada nearly beat my ass. I can't even take a breather because there's still one more fight left. Our final fight with Cell is the hardest one yet. This shit gave me anxiety. I died a total of 10 times. It was so bad that my hands were drenched in sweat. Around attempt 9 or 10, I was so close to quitting. Like, what was the point anymore? This video is gonna get like 20 views anyways. But no. I owe it to myself and to all 3 of you currently watching this to see it through to the end. And that's what I'm gonna do. Whew. I did it. I beat Cell. Fuck, I'm tired. Okay, let's cover some of the what-if content real quick. As I mentioned before, Budokai 1 has a lot of what-if content and alternate scenarios. I think my personal favorite that comes to memory at the moment is a scene where instead of absorbing Android 18, Cell accidentally absorbs Krillin, and he basically takes on all the attributes of Krillin. So he becomes shorter, a lot more weaker, and he turns orange. Which then leads to Yamcha and Tien having to defeat this Krillin-Cell combination, this Cellin. I'm not sure what you would call him, but it was really fucking funny.
I'll take care of this by myself.
Well now, you seem confident.
Of course I am.
I'm not gonna let some punk like you walk all over me!
Just wait till you get a taste of the legendary Wolf Fang's fist!
Plot twist, it turns out that Cell was just having a nightmare during the wait for the Cell games. That was awesome. Another really cool alternate scene is where Frieza actually wins. He ends up killing Gohan, Piccolo, Vegeta, Krillin, and even Goku. It even goes as far as to show him getting eternal life. That's crazy to think about, let alone see in motion.
Huh? What's this? Could it be? I wish you to grant me eternal life!
As you wish.
Out of the universe. I might as well spend my time wisely and destroy the Earthling's precious little blue planet.
And on that note, we finally reached the end of my Budokai 1 retrospective. It's been a long time coming. A lot of work was put into this editing wise and writing the scripts and recording everything. It was a fun little project. I guess if I were to pick a favorite arc in the game specifically, I'd say the Saiyan arc. It did a really good job in adapting majority of the stuff in the anime and the manga. Sure, it's not 100% accurate at times, it does leave out a few details here and there, but it does a good job. If you guys enjoyed the video, then please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. It helps my channel grow in more ways than you guys know. With that being said, my name is Alpha, and I'll see you guys in the next video.